I never thought I'd be the center of a real-life soap opera. As I walked into what I believed was my engagement party, anticipation buzzing in the air around me, my heart froze at the sight of my fiancée on one knee before someone else. The room was filled with gasps and whispers, but all I could hear was the pounding of disbelief in my ears. Friends and family who had gathered to celebrate us were now witnesses to the most humiliating moment of my life. The woman he was proposing to, someone I vaguely recognized as a coworker from his office, looked as shocked as I felt, her eyes darting between him and me. The truth hit me like a tidal wave, crashing down with ruthless force. It wasn't the first time he had lied to me, he had perfected the art of deception over the past year. I recalled the late-night meetings that seemed a little too frequent, the excuses that were just too convenient, and a nagging feeling that something was always off. I had brushed aside my instincts, convinced myself I was just paranoid, and now I was paying the price for my misplaced trust. The betrayal was suffocating, a knife twisting deeper with every second I stood there, rooted to the spot, unable to decide whether to scream or break down. In the weeks that followed, I discovered just how deep the deceit ran. Our mutual friends were split into camps, some claiming they knew, others just as blindsided as I was. My fiancée, or rather, my ex, tried to explain it away as a momentary lapse, but the truth was, he had been living a double life. The woman he proposed to had been led to believe they were in a committed relationship as well. As I pieced together the fragments of our shattered lives, the anger and heartbreak slowly morphed into something else, an unsettling clarity that this betrayal had freed me from a life built on lies. The twist, however, was not his infidelity but the realization of my own complicity in the facade. I had ignored red flags, chosen willful blindness over uncomfortable truths, and allowed myself to be swept away by the fantasy of a perfect love story. Standing in the rubble of what once was, I understood that my heart had stopped that day not because I was losing him, but because I was finally finding myself. The irony, bitter and yet liberating, was that his betrayal had become my awakening. Now, my story begins anew, with the certainty that I will never again betray myself.